Kia ora, hi, konnichiwa. Welcome to my channel. And if you're returning, it's great to see you back. In today's video, it's a little bit of everything of my life here in Nagoya, Japan. I'm going to school, study groups with my classmates, and also I found a farmer's market, so I'll be going there and grabbing some vegetables. And also I went to a night market and got some really delicious gyoza. Along the way, I want to talk about test anxiety and what that really means and whether I might be actually struggling with it myself. I'll also share about how it's been so hot here in Nagoya lately and how people deal with it. So let's jump in. So today's Monday and right now we're preparing for our midterm test, and honestly it's been on my mind a lot. I've taken a few tests already and my results haven't been great so far. So I've actually been wondering, is it test anxiety? Do I really have it? Or am I just underprepared? It's something I'd like to talk more about today because I think a lot of people go through this. But first I'm going to pop into Big Camera. The other day I got a comment about the vocal quality, and honestly I know sometimes the sound isn't the clearest. I must admit that I use a gaming headset for my vocals, so I'm not quite sure what I should be looking for, so I think I better do a little bit more research on the internet. Suggestions are always welcome, so put them in the comments below. I seem to have gone off track and started looking at the cameras, but these cameras look pretty amazing, don't they? I thought this looked really cute. After looking at the cameras, we decided to stop by the Sky Garden at the Daya Nagoya building. It's just a few minutes from the station and I heard it's a beautiful spot to see at night. It was quite busy today because it was Friday. It had beautiful lighting, as you can see. We didn't stay too long, it was just a quick visit to get a couple of photos and then I headed off home. Saturday morning started off at the farmer's market in Sakae, right at Oasis 21. There's the Nagoya TV tower, also known as the Chubu Electric Tower. It's 180 metres tall and it was actually the first TV tower built in Japan. At night it lights up and from the top you can get a great view of the city. Now we're passing the Nagoya sign and it's one of the most popular spots where people stop and get a quick photo. The farmer's market is just down the steps in the corner. It starts at 8:30 and you line up and get a ticket, and then when they call you a number then you can go and look at the stalls. It's such a lovely place to come to on the weekend, and the stores are all lined up selling fresh veggies, fruit and local treats. So let's go have a look and see what we can find. I'm meeting my Japanese friend here and afterwards we're going to go for coffee. The produce looks so fresh. So these are from local farmers and they come in and sell their produce each Saturday. This is my first time at the market and I'm pretty impressed. The produce looks so fresh. Later that afternoon I did have to pop into the supermarket and get some other supplies. But look at the price of these grapes. It makes these ones seem a bit more reasonable. Fruit here is just so expensive. I find it quite unbelievable really. The shop I'm in at the moment isn't really a full-on supermarket, probably what you'd call a gourmet supermarket. The prices are a little bit more expensive, but then they do have kind of higher quality products. Living in Sakai Fushimi, there isn't a large supermarket close by. I suppose the nearest one's about a 10 to 14 minute walk from where I am, and in the daytime it's a little bit too hot to walk there, and I'm studying in the afternoon, and so when we finish class it's nearly 6 o'clock and we've been tending to actually go out for dinner just about every night, so it's probably not that healthy. But it has been enjoyable kind of making new friends. When I change to the morning class, then I might actually invite them round for dinner. which might be a nice change. I do have an oven and a 2-ring gas stove, so I can whip something up. I got some lovely peppers from the farmer's market and some chilies as well, some tomatoes and a few other little bits and pieces. I've noticed that the cucumbers are pretty small here in Japan. I was quite surprised. In New Zealand they're a bit thicker and longer. What's the cucumbers like in your neck of the woods? I'm not quite sure if that's an appropriate question. Anyway, this is a lovely painting that my new friend gave me. When I went to see her the other week for lunch, I took a gift, and one of them was a container of jellies, and she did a painting of them. It was so lovely of her. One thing I really have to mention is the heat. Summer in Nagoya is honestly no joke. It is not just hot, it's humid. The kind of heavy air that sticks to your skin and makes you feel like you're walking through steam. Some days it's almost impossible to stay outside for too long without wanting to dive into an air-conditioned cafe. People have their own ways of coping. You'll see so many people carrying a handheld fan, and it's those little battery-powered fans that you can clip onto your bag or your umbrella. Cooling wipes and sprays are everywhere in convenience stores, and of course bottled water and sports drinks are a must. Hydration is constant. Can't really leave home without it. Back in New Zealand we get warm summers, but not with this kind of humidity. Here even a short walk feels so draining. Finding shade becomes an art form. You notice people crossing the street just to get to the other side where it's shaded. I'm learning to adapt. I've got a fan, I've got an umbrella, and I always have a bottle of water with me. My school friends hadn't been to Aeon Mall in Noritake Gardens, so after school one day we went along and had some dinner there. We did a bit of study, but not much, I must admit. We did go to the claw machines and I won a soft toy, which I was quite proud of myself. So we're coming up to nearing the end of the week, and I just wanted to talk about the anxiety I've started to feel just regarding the test that we're going to have next week. I've taken a few tests already and my results haven't been great. So I'm wondering, is it test anxiety, or do I really have it, or am I just underprepared? So let's just talk about test anxiety. It's that nervous, stressed feeling before and during exams. Some people get sweaty palms, racing heart, or just blank out. For me, I've noticed I started to doubt myself the minute the test paper is in front of me. The thing is, when I'm practicing with my friends or reviewing vocabulary by myself, I can do it. But in the actual test, it doesn't come out the same way. So I've been asking myself, is this nerves, or do I just need more preparation? Either way, I'm working on ways to combat it. Daily review of vocabulary, extra practice with particles, breathing and slowing down before the test starts. If you've ever felt this way, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear how you deal with it. Some mornings I've been going into this cafe called Cannon Coffee, and they have a lovely breakfast set. It's a great way to fill yourself up before you start school. A little bit about the school and the structure of the class. We have 4 classes per day, and there's a break in between each class. We don't move classes, we're always in the same class, but we usually just have a 5-minute break just to kind of stretch our legs or get another drink. I'm in the afternoon lessons at the moment, and we have afternoon lessons for 6 weeks, and then it changes over to the morning lessons. It's nice to have afternoon lessons and then changing to morning lessons. I think the only negative is that if you're going to be looking for work, you wouldn't be able to work during the week. or if you worked during the week, it would have to be at night after 6 o'clock, which wouldn't be that ideal. On my way home from school on Friday, I stumbled across a market by the river. I hadn't planned it at all, but it was one of those moments where you just follow the music and the crowd, and suddenly you're in the middle of something really special. The market stretched along the riverfront with stalls selling food and drinks and some little handmade goods. The vibe was so great. Lots of people relaxing after work, chatting with friends and enjoying the evening breeze. And of course I couldn't resist stopping for some gyoza.
大丈夫です。餃子一つですね。650円になります。
They were hot, fresh, and they were full of flavour. It was just the perfect size snack. Finding this market completely by chance made my Friday night. I have been walking home from school probably about 50% of the time, and I'm really pleased that I walked home on Friday. Moments like this that remind me on how much Nagoya has to offer beyond the big attractions. Sometimes the best experiences are the ones that you don't plan. So that's it for today's video. It's been a busy week, but such a good one. Next week's going to be exciting because it's festival season here in Nagoya. I'll be heading out to show you some of the summer festivals and everything that goes along with them. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. It really helps out my channel. And if you want to see more of my life here in Japan, make sure you hit that subscribe button too, so you don't miss out what's coming up next. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, see ya!